Так, друзья, всем привет еще раз. Продолжаем играть Шерлока Холмса. Так, мы начинаем, получается, вторую главу. Тайна исчезнувшего поезда.
This trip to the countryside will be good for you, Holmes. As your friend and your doctor, I really do recommend that you give yourself a complete change of scene. Fresh air, brisk walks, bird watching, chopping wood.
Sounds intolerant. Certainly it sounds delightful.
But you haven't yet told me who your friend is, the one we're going to visit.
He is a bee lover.
A bee lover? Do you mean that he keeps bees? That must be Mrs. Hudson, bringing the warm cloth that I requested.
There is someone to see you, Mr. Holmes.
I have no time. Send whoever it is away.
Yes, Holmes, I really think we ought to leave now.
Mycroft.
О,
Sherlock.
Oh, Mr. Holmes? Perhaps you don't remember me. I'm Dr. Watson. We met at the Diogenes Club a few years ago. I documented our encounter in a short story I gave the title The Greek Interpreter.
He does remember you, Watson. My brother remembers everything, and that is why he is so valuable to the government.
We're about to depart for the train station.
I know.
You know?
Sherlock, I need your help. There are people who presently threaten both our country and the Crown itself. You must help us with those methods of yours.
Need? Help? Those are not words I would readily associate with you, Mycroft.
I wrote you a letter, but you did not reply. And this is not about politics. It's about people. People similar to those whom you pretend to defend in your petty detective affairs.
Everything is about politics with you, Mycroft. I'm not interested. Have some of your agents, your spies, or worse, undertake this job of yours. You are defending your people, and they have little to do with the people I choose to help, I can assure you.
That is the point. You think exactly as they do.
Who are they?
The Merry Men. He is talking about the Merry Men, a band of idealistic terrorists.
Sherlock, do please think about it. They are planning something diabolical. Your country needs you.
You need me, Mycroft, and you are not the country. Although if your waistline expands very much further.
Mrs. Hudson, tea will not be necessary. Dr. Watson, the train conductor, Mr. Parker, is aware that you will be 7 minutes late. You are in the 4th car. The train will be waiting for you. Sherlock, enjoy your time in Staffordshire. And do, please, at least write to me on your return.
теплые отношения между братьями. Однако. Ну это наша. Вот здесь вот то, что мы прошли, это. Ага, сувенир, класс. Сувенир. Так, а что делать-то?
Watson, I'll hold a cab for us. We leave in 5 minutes for the station.
What a gloomy night. It was warmer inside the waiting hall.
Since the station master told us that the train is about to arrive, we should not have to wait very much longer.
Yes, at last.
Attention! The train is arriving at the station. Please stand well away from the platform edge.
I'll take your bags and your blasted archive suitcase. But, Holmes, the headlight, it's faded away.
Something is wrong. I can't hear any sound from the incoming train.
Excuse me, sir. Can you explain what has happened?
I don't know. It's as if the train vanished into thin air.
Holmes, say something.
Quick, fetch a lantern and let us take a look.
Прям в воздухе растворился.
It's too dark. Only fog and rails, nothing else.
There is no use in stumbling around here at night. We will come back tomorrow.
Шли бы по рельсам-то, в любом бы случае на поезд наткнулись. Чё? Ну.
Well, here we are again at Evesham Station. We have a full day ahead. Let us begin our investigation.
Чей-то велик. Чё тебе тут не пройти? Господи. Ну, ладно, пойдем туда. Там вроде похоже что-то стоит. Или... Да хорош там. Так, мне правильно надо идти-то туда? Иди.
This is the place where we saw the train vanish last night.
Railway sleepers. Nothing unusual. A discarded item, possibly thrown from the train. The rails have not been touched. There's nothing unusual here.
Ой, это я случайно. Сорян. Господи. Ну так а чё?
There are no tracks or footprints on the ground. There are no signs to indicate that the train ran off the track, nor are there any other traces. There is nothing whatsoever. There are no clues. But then, a negative result is also a result.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. No clues and you're smiling.
Yes, Watson, I do smile on occasion. This mystery appears very promising. This investigation won't be simple. We shall require a map of the region.
Perhaps the station master could lend us one.
Ну, наконец-то.
Good morning. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Yes, I remember you. I'm Station Master Everett. You were here last night. So, you are Mr. Holmes, the great detective. Will you be investigating what happened?
I shall indeed.
It is extraordinary that an entire train could disappear like that. And to think of all the poor people inside it, the passengers, the driver.
I would be glad to have a detailed map of the local railway district.
But of course, please, take the one that's pinned inside the waiting hall.
Could you please give us any details about the train?
Well, there was nothing so very special about it. At least not that I can recall. My memory's not what it used to be. However, if you need it, you can have the train composition report. It's inside my office.
See you later, my good man.
My good man. Ну, пойдемте. Какая это, что ли, карта? Мгм.
A new telegram.
I think we should meet this Mr. Robinson.
Сообщение всем станциям. Мистер Робинсон находится на станции Бридлингтон.
Here is the train set.
Маршрут Ноттингем-Лондон. Тип: состав: локомотивный вагон для перевозки угля, вагон первого класса, почтовый, специальный, заказ мистером Робинсоном, вагон второго класса. Всё. Мусорки не будем копаться? Ну ладно.
A telegraph.
О, класс, телеграф. Ну, может, в эту дверь надо зайти. А, да, точно.
This map will be useful.
Ребеночек рисовал. Угу. Вот идите, любезнейший. Так, а что там дальше-то? Тролли. Что там за чувачочки? Дын. Дальше нельзя. Можно было бы обойти-то. Чё?
This suitcase contains...
Ну, так а что я? А я что, я с ними не могу поговорить?
The whole train just disappeared. It's unbelievable.
На озеро хочу или в карьер. Ну иди жопу, пойду пешком. Ой, так, значит тут я чего-то... Может к нему надо еще под... Вроде уж распрощались.
According to the train composition report, there was a special wagon. What does that entail?
That's a highly secure car, ordered by a private party. It is generally to carry something of value. Those wagons have iron walls, you know, without any windows. And they're fitted with a complex key lock.
That is important information. Do you know what was inside this particular wagon?
Certainly not. No, that's private. And it's not my responsibility to allot the wagons to whoever.
Was there anything exceptional about any of the passengers aboard the train?
What do you mean? Like officials? I wouldn't know. Oh, but now that you mention it, yes, there was something. There was a message from Bridlington station saying that the train had been delayed because of an issue with the passengers. What kind of problem that they didn't say?
That is interesting. You mentioned a problem at Bridlington station. I should like to visit this station. Could you mark it on the local map?
Of course. It's a suburban railway station. You might take a cab there.
See you later, my good man.
My good man.
The whole train just disappeared.
Да к
It's
чего?
unbelievable.
Есть что у нас по дедукции-то? Ага. Ладно. Так. Угу. Чё? Понятно. А, ну сюда нельзя, ну чё? Забыл, как лестницей пользоваться. Тут чё?
This is an absolute scandal. It's always the same with these rail companies. No respect for the customer.
Похож на этого. В прошлой части, который был подозреваем. Ну-ка. И чё, сырые штаны? Нет, не будет. Женат.
Please calm down, sir. What is your concern?
Concern? What is my concern? I'll tell you what my concern is. Last night I were on the train as usual with my colleague, heading home. Then along came this ridiculous ticket inspector, who started arguing that our tickets were invalid. He made us get off the train, and he was extremely rude about it.
Were you aboard the train that vanished last night?
Yes, I heard that it disappeared, but I don't care because we would have stopped before then anyway. Our tickets were valid and no doubt about it. And then, to top it all, the ticket inspector pushed everyone else out too, except for a bunch of rich. Well, because their type don't need a ticket.
Can you recall anything more specific about this fortunate group?
Well, yes. They were all foreigners. Spanish-looking toffs with snake eyes.
Goodbye, sir.
Ты чё?
Good day to you, sir.
Good day. To whom am I speaking?
My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is...
Are you a representative of this damned railway company? Because I have a complaint.
We are not from the railway company. We are...
Well, in that case, Mr. Shamrock Flomes, please excuse me, but I'm not in the mood for idle chit-chat at the moment.
Такой приятный. Угу. Толстого живота не будет?
You must be Mr. Robinson, is that correct?
Yes?
I am leading the investigation of the disappearing train. It would help if you could answer my questions.
Ah, well, all right. I have nothing to hide.
Special
I
wagon.
presume it was you who placed the order for the special wagon.
Yes. It was to transport my valuable prototype safely to London. My prototype is a revolutionary device. It is capable of producing electricity. I'm a businessman and an engineer. I had already found several potential customers for my invention, but I was very optimistic about the directors' board who were travelling on the train last night.
You mentioned a director's board. Which company do they own?
The Chilean Barcazas Company. I had made an appointment with them. Now they are lost, along with the train and my prototype.
What do you know about the Barcazas Company?
It's a large South American company. They showed a great deal of interest in my prototype, and they seemed wealthy enough to do business with.
This revolutionary machine of yours, was it very valuable?
For God's sake, sir, it is priceless. It could change the world we live in, and yet I was selling it for almost nothing. I am a humanitarian, you see. I do not know if I will ever be able to get over this disaster. I cannot believe that it disappeared with that damn train.
Да, любовь человечества. Ага. Херню кто-нибудь продавал.
Mr. Robinson, could you please clarify? Were you travelling alongside your prototype?
Yes, I was. But I had to step off the train. And all because of this stupid station master.
I received a telegram declaring that an important person, a Mr. Bromsby, wished to see you in the waiting room. I merely informed you of this.
Mr. Bromsby is a wealthy gentleman. His interest in my invention was truly unexpected. So yes, of course, I agreed to see him. Unfortunately, he wasn't there. I thought perhaps he might have been delayed, so I chose to wait a while. But despite my requests, the train left the station without me. Absolutely unacceptable.
The timetable is strict. We cannot wait any longer. The regulations require the train to be on time.
You are an idiot. You will pay for it. I will sue you.
Ой,
The ticket
такие.
inspector forced all the passengers from the train except for the directors of the Barcazas Chilean Company.
Пишу специально, ну тут. Чё, куда делся-то, мужичок?
Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you?
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I am investigating the unfortunate disappearance of last night's train.
I see. I'm Station Master Bertram, but my supervisor has not informed me about this. I do not know if...
Do not worry. I have only a few questions. Station Master Everett from Evesham told us that you reported a problem with some passengers last night.
Indeed. This train is a regular line for those who work at Nottingham. But yesterday, everyone was asked to get off the train here at my station. I've no idea why, and it delayed the train. But the worst of it is that now I have to deal with two furious passengers who are complaining about the company's service. They stayed here the whole night, but people do not usually pay much attention to the regulations, you see. There are very strict and clear rules. Paragraph 234 of Article 2G-43 states that in the event of a complaint, you must...
Yes, thank you. I understand. Apart from the passengers disembarking, did you notice anything else that was unusual last night?
I did, and I mentioned it in my report to our higher management on the matter.
What was it?
Sorry, but I can't tell you. The station master's reports are confidential.
Confidential, you say? How long have you been working here?
I've worked here long enough to be quite capable of managing a railway station.
Let me speak frankly, Mr. Bertram. Your age and your lack of confidence in your position are quite apparent. You cannot deny that you have only recently
Ну, это и так
completed your
понятно.
studies.
I was at the top of my class.
Listen here, young man. I am aware that you wish to protect yourself behind all these regulations, but I represent the law.
And you are obstructing the investigation of an important case. I would suggest that you cooperate with Mr. Holmes. Think of your career.
Ah, that is... Well, I'll tell you everything. First of all, I scolded the ticket inspector, for it was he who asked the passengers to leave the train. It was not his right to do so. He was very rude. And then, later on, I received a most peculiar telegram from my colleague at Chesterfield Station, the next stop along the line.
What did the telegram say?
Well, that was the peculiar thing. It was almost unreadable. It was full of errors and awfully vague. It was hard to understand if the train had correctly passed that station or not. You can read it for yourself.
Давай-ка.
We ought to visit Chesterfield Station. We need to confirm if the station master saw the train or not.
Что-то непонятно. Да, у нас есть это. Да.
The insurance policy for Robinson's machine. A significant sum.
Томас Л. Робинсон страховал свой прототип автономный электрический генератор. Настоящим полисом гарантируется возмещение стоимости прототипа до 50% в случае потери. Максимальная сумма выплаты 15 тысяч фунтов. Срок действия 1 год. Возможное продление.
A telegraph.
Так.
Don't touch anything, please.
Поехали. Честерфилд.
Locked.
This bin is full of empty bottles.
A fishing advertisement.
I had thought that all station masters knew the Morse code, but apparently not.
A telegraph.
Ну, понятно, что с ним не так.
How could he fall asleep at work like this? Excuse me, sir. Wake up.
Да там воняет эти как...
His breath. He must have swallowed half a distillery.
And that explains the how.
By his sleeping off the alcohol, you mean? Wake up, please, sir.
What? The 18 hours 72 train has arrived?
Good day to you. We are investigating the disappearance of last night's train, and we should like to ask you a few questions. Were there any passengers who got off that particular train at your station last night?
No, nobody, it seems to me. Although I did not leave my office, so...
No doubt you were very busy.
You don't say. You can't ever get any peace around here. Now you have to send a telegram each time a train arrives and departs.
Все, я не заметила, господи.
Station Master Bertram from Bridlington showed me a strange telegram that he received from you last night. It concerned the train, but it was barely comprehensible.
What? He's a fastidious little twerp, that Bertram. I remember everything quite clearly. It was late, and I was tired, but I did my work. So what? There's no need to be so petty.
You were not tired, you were inebriated. Tell me the truth now, or I shall not hesitate to document your state in my report.
My friend means that you will end up by being sacked from your position.
All right. So I was drunk. I don't remember all of yesterday, to be truthful to you. Please don't go harsh on me.
Holmes, this man has consumed a considerable amount of alcohol. He's not entirely helpless yet, but...
It will not be long before he is. Obviously, his testimony cannot be trusted. Locked. There is no sense in asking the station master to open it. We shall have to pick the lock.
Наверное, что дырка была, так нам. Или нет? Так. Ой. Так. Нет? Что не так-то?
These tools were used quite recently. They are still muddy. We should ask about them.
Да он выходит, что у него спрашивать-то?
Bags were recently dragged here. French wine, a remarkable vintage. These bottles are too expensive for a station master's wage. They were likely taken from the parcels.
Shameful.
Воришка. Позор, так уж позор, правда.
Railway post bags.
Угу. Здесь, да, дверь была с этой стороны. А может на той станции-то тоже замок надо взломать? Какой-нибудь. Нет, не это. Ладно, никаких коммуникаций, да, лишних. Здесь открывается. Вот этот жабасин сидит. Здесь открывается. Здесь открывается. Поэтому... Какой дом красивый. Ну, давайте тогда еще уж на первую самую вернемся, вдруг. Хотя там мы все ж бегали. Так, мы сюда заходили. Так чё?
An old locomotive bell. This part is probably from a locomotive. This place serves as a storage area for the station. This part is probably from a locomotive.
Чего не нашла, да?
You have quite a number of dirty tools lying around here.
Ah, yes. Well, thank you for reminding me. I should clean them. Although, might be easy to put them outside. Seems it might start raining soon.
I meant, what were they used for?
Some workers come here and borrowed them from me. They wanted to lift the edge of the railway to one of the stations on the line, so that the water wouldn't come in too close.
Who were these workers?
Well, they didn't seem to be from the company, but they was fine lads. They invited me to share a drink. And whatever it was, it had a kick to it. They wasn't English. No, I don't believe so. But see, they knew just what a man needed to brighten up his dull evening.
Угу. Ну, чилийцы, наверное.
The whole train just disappeared. It's unbelievable.
Railway post bags.
По-моему, ничего не было. Ну, просто добавляется, получается, каких-то вещей, которые можно осмотреть.
It's a scandal. An absolute outrage.
О.
According to this document, you have insurance for your prototype.
Oh, thank God. Where did you find it?
Near the telegraph station.
I must have lost it when I tried to send a message, which I was prevented from doing.
I apologise for that, but regulations state that public access to the telegraph is strictly prohibited.
Upon my word, you keep on digging that hole of yours. You have no idea who I am.
Ой. Кусок
I see that you kept your gripsack with you. Why don't you leave it in the luggage room?
I've had other things to think about. I lost my prototype. And this idiot station master just stands here doing nothing to help.
Oh, but...
Well, that won't do at all. Station master, I believe that the regulations state that any passenger luggage should be taken to the luggage room.
I'll do it right away, sir. Sorry, sir.
This Robinson is quite a character. We should learn more about him.
I will not move from here until I receive my refund.
Ну, вы умрёшь здесь с голоду. Так, саквояж. Саквояж его искать.
Don't touch anything, please.
Ясно? Ладно, хорошо. Привет, усики.
This gripsack belongs to Mr. Robinson.
I think we should open it, Holmes. This is what they call force majeure. I'll keep watch.
Of course.
Да, конечно, ведь по-другому мы бы не стали его открывать. Так. Посмотрим сейчас, что у нас нарисовано. О, совпадосик. Тут, наверное, уголок какой-нибудь, нет? Угу, ничего нет. Так. Ну, и в этот раз их 4, да, конечно.
Look, Watson, a bundle of contracts. Very suspicious. We should study them carefully.
Это эксклюзивный контракт на продажу прототипа изобретения, предназначенного для выработки и передачи электроэнергии автономным способом. Компания Emerson Electric, покупатель, понимает, что покупает прототип как есть и согласна с этим. Мистер Томас Л. Робинсон, продавец, не несет ответственности за любые проблемы, которые могут возникнуть с прототипом после покупки, независимо от того, были ли они известны во время покупки. Отличный контракт. Покупатель обязуется внести залог в размере 10% стоимости прототипа в момент подписания контракта. Остальная сумма передается в течение 1 месяца. Так.
An exclusive sales contract. Mr. Robinson is the seller.
Так.
Yet another Mr. Robinson is the seller.
Так это то же самое. Вот в чем разница-то. Ну-ка. Тут Emerson. Тут компания Гонконг General Electric. Тут Барказас. Тут Мэдисон General Electric. Мэдисон. Так. Так.
Yet another
Так.
Mr. Robinson is the seller. Yet another Mr. Robinson is the seller. Well, it is very clear that this Mr. Robinson received prepayments from various people for his machine.
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
Ой. Блин, вот мы не знаем, сколько реальная стоимость. То есть он 10% набирал. Ну, в общем-то... Я думаю, что ему нормально. Так, вот эти. Хоть курить вредно, так много курить. Сиди тут битый час. Так чё? Долго было что-то вредничать? Так. Короче. Куда мне теперь надо? Честерфилд, да? Ну, осмотрим внимательно Честерфилд. В чем там найдем? Труп? Зачем закрыли дверь?
This Robinson fellow seems suspicious to me.
A handcar wheelbase. Interesting. It appears that elements of the same construction were scattered everywhere. Watson, please tell me, do you believe in magic?
Of course not, Holmes.
Then you are of the opinion that a train cannot simply disappear.
Well, we both know that that is obvious. Why are you asking such peculiar questions?
A little patience, Watson. You will understand my point quite soon. So, are you quite certain that you saw the train at Evesham Station?
Yes, of course. We saw it coming. The headlights. And heard the whistle.
But that is it. We didn't see the train itself.
But... Oh, Holmes, I'm a little confused.
Зрительный обман? Ну и все, я так сразу удачненько прибежал. Ага, то есть получается... Поезд мог вообще куда угодно уехать. Угу. И как мы соберем тележку? Это по всем этим шастать? Угу. Так, значит. Это вот эти вот собирать там колокольчик, шестеренку, вероятнее всего. Ой, я не была здесь. Ну, в общем-то, немного потеряла. О, какая телега. Кэп. Красиво. Это там виды такие. Поляна, да. Британия. Славится им полями. Мы сейчас поехали вот в этот вот. Угу. А где я смотрела эти шестеренки, а что-то я подзаплутала. Туда нельзя. Никуда нельзя. Отойти. Может, дверь с той стороны? Угу, только две двери. И ворота. Отойди. Нет? А чё? А, ну да, там дверь. Угу, значит, здесь. Точно, да, я здесь видела. Ну, вряд ли там не хватает шестеренки и колокольчика.
This part is probably from a locomotive.
Угу. Значит, нет.
An old locomotive bell.
Угу. Ну...
The entire train has disappeared. It's a disaster.
Не страшно ему с такими трещинами в стене. На станции железнодорожной работать. Так. Я посидела идея, может быть, это все здесь? Ну, то есть там, где мы нашли. Я уже в этих станциях запуталась. Это что, типа, зачем так поделена земля, интересно? Угу.
I should use the appropriate object here. I should use the... I should use the appropriate object here. I should use the I should use the appropriate object here. I should use the appropriate object here. I should use the appropriate object here. I should use the appropriate object here.
Так. Блин.
I should use the appropriate object here. I should use the appropriate object here.
Ага. Ну, куда? Так, чё? Куда они? Я что-то ничего не понимаю. Вряд ли мне бы дало поставить доску, если я не поставила тормоз, если он нужен. Может, какую-то еще часть надо. Получается, так. Ну вот, просто собрать, и что-то у меня не получается. Может, его не надо? Ага. Я не обратила внимания, что нужно крутить-то ее. Ой, невнимательность моя.
So, now here we have the fake train that we saw approaching Evesham station last night.
Doesn't look much like a train to me.
Be patient, Watson, I haven't finished yet. Try using your imagination. Our train requires only a headlight and a steam whistle. We need to attach a headlight and a steam whistle.
Ой. Чё так у меня нету? Вот тут. Вряд ли в одном месте, конечно, все лежит.
I need something long for the headlight to be attached. I need some...
Что-то длинное, типа вот этой палки.
The long pole is now attached. The headlight is attached. The steam whistle is now connected.
Holmes, what can we do to make the steam whistle work?
It is elementary, my dear Watson. We shall need a fire extinguisher.
Идем искать огнетушитель. Так, что выйти может из этого состояния? Да нет. Ну уж я надеюсь, вот сомневаюсь, что все прям в одной комнате. И... Да... значит, все в одной комнате. Невнимательность моя, невнимательность, да.
The fire extinguisher. Now let us see what we have here.
Ну-ка, ну-ка.
The steam whistle is ready to be used. Watson, I do believe that we have created an exact replica of the train that vanished in front of us last night. The criminal mind can be most inventive. I am somewhat in awe.
So such a thing is possible. If someone went to all the trouble of creating this fake train, then it was surely with the intention of stealing the real one.
Ah, Watson, you should not jump to conclusions. In fact, this does not tell us very much at all, except that the train did not evaporate into thin air.
Although you half suspected it.
At any rate, we now need to find where the real train might be hidden. I suggest we use my archives to find a more detailed map of our surroundings.
Well, I hope that justifies our having to load your massive archive suitcase onto the cab. It made us extremely unpopular with our driver.
Now we have two maps. We must combine them properly.
Так чё?
Here it is. There is a side branch to the railway. Its first switch is located between Bridlington and Chesterfield stations. There is one more station to be visited. It is located between Chesterfield and Evesham, and there should be a side railway to the nearby quarry. There is a small section of a railway at the end of Evesham station.
Ну да, полно-полно куда можно было бы. Так. Поехали-те.
Mines. This is interesting.
Ага, дальше нельзя. И чё, ну мы узнали, да, что здесь нет поезда.
A fake train. Ha! What a clever and devilish trick.
Считается, что мы ее осмотрели или нет?
The switch is rusted, but it still works. It would be quite possible for someone to redirect the train towards the mines.
Водичка красивая. Угу.
Here are the mines, Holmes. They appear to be abandoned. This mine has completely collapsed,
Ну
Holmes.
да, тут
It is curious, but to be truthful, I am not entirely surprised.
It's difficult to follow you, Holmes.
Someone removed these screws, most probably to take down the rails. A few feet of the rails have been dismantled.
Так. Ну, можно, наверное, дальше отправляться на развилочку, на стрелку.
A funny character. He looks anxious.
And he is not an Englishman.
Ой. Вот ты не брезгливый.
This scent is familiar to me. But
Что-то я нифига не понимаю. Так. Ага. Наверное, так. Ну, тут... Нет, все равно. Он тоже
a
придирает.
greenish brown cigar with a strong aroma, a hint of peppermint. Ricardo.
You already know the name of this man? Holmes, you amaze me.
No, Watson, I refer to the cigar. It is a Ricardo Turrent, a Mexican cigar of an excellent quality. Quite an expensive one, too.
Что, решил докурить?
This ashtray is full of ash and cigar stubs.
Эти чилийские свиньи считают, что могут увести будущее нашей компании у нас с-под носа. Мы этого не допустим.
Apparently, there was a conflict between the Mexicans and the Chileans. A greenish-brown cigar with a strong aroma, a hint of peppermint. These ashes and cigar stubs are similar to the one that we found on the floor. Some of the stubs were recently smoked. There are others that appear fairly old.
That means that the fellow spent several days here. Judging by his clothes, he's hardly a traveller or a tramp.
Well concluded, my dear fellow. A man who smoked the Ricardo brand of Mexican cigar spent several long days at Doncaster Station. This ashtray is full of ash and cigar stubs.
Ну, на то она и пепельница, в общем-то. Ой, сейчас блевану от этой камеры, жесть. Надо настроить, покупаться. Да что ты, драные цветы.
Holmes, look. There's a flooded area over here.
I believe that the flooded area might be worth checking.
Привет.
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. John Watson. We are investigating the case of the vanished train.
Is that so? Well, good day, gentlemen. I am Mr. Duff, the station master of this station. I'll be happy to help you in any way I can, but there's not much that I can tell you about last night.
Да, а ну. Ага. Да.
It appears that you may be at risk of some flooding along the line here.
You mean that the whole bloody lake is at our feet?
Quite so. But it is strange, because according to my map there should be a quarry here, and behind that the lake.
How should I know? I only arrived here a few months ago.
And where did you work before that?
Well, I was working in Nottingham, but I asked for a quieter place, so they transferred me here. Life is cheaper. I can't really complain.
There was a gentleman of Mexican origin, I believe, in the waiting room. Did you notice him?
What? A Mexican? Here in the back of beyond? Are you quite sure about that?
Did any passengers leave or board the train last night?
No. I saw no one as usual. I reported the train's passage by telegraph. Just the same as all the other nights.
Goodbye, sir. It is obvious that we cannot inspect the quarry. Instead, we can check the beach area around the flooded lake.
Еще одна комната ожидания. Или это та же?
Newspaper articles on horse racing. Hurdle, steeplechase and flat racing. He is a true enthusiast, Holmes.
Betting slips for horse racing. Bettings. The sums are quite impressive.
It can be an expensive vice. This man had probably used all his savings.
A telegraph. Here we are at the beach that is located near the quarry and Doncaster station. It doesn't look like a very good place to rest. These traces were made by carriage. Look. The vehicle pressed this stone into the ground. It would have been quite heavy. Nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting. Nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting here.
Блин, что надо сделать-то? Я пропустила.
Nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting here. Nothing. The vehicle would have been heavy, as these tracks are quite deep. These traces are relatively fresh and were made by a large truck loaded with materials. An advertisement for lake cruises. An abandoned gypsy caravan. This place was abandoned fairly recently. Observing the coastline and the moored boats, we are able to see that the lake's water level dropped. The lake has flooded the quarry. The dam was probably breached.
Ну, так чё, ну, ладно. Понятно, я что думаю, ее совсем не взять.
A label with the name Las Zarpas.
Я хочу посмотреть. Эй. Ну вот, походу, вода была до заборчика. Берега вон так омыты.
My search should be focused upon the name Las... Баржа Лазарпас лидирует в перевозках тяжелых грузов. Марка Лазарпас связана с мексиканским консорциумом Каракал, который занимается водным транспортом, поставками электричества, добычей в шахтах. Here it is.
Угу. Я молодец. Да, пойдемте про билеты на скачки узнаем, что это все дешево, которое. Так, Кастер, по-моему, тут сидит. Ой. Это натыкала.
I observe that you are a gambling man, Mr. Duff. You had hoped that your relocation to this small town might have helped ease your addiction, but it was not to be.
I beg your pardon? Addiction to what?
We found a number of horse racing tickets inside your office. Well, well, we all have our weaknesses. An expensive obsession, surely, for a station master.
It is none of your business. I occasionally attend the races with my colleagues. And anyway, that's my private life.
Goodbye, sir.
В общем, друзья, я хочу вам сказать до свидания. Хочу с вами попрощаться на данном этапе прохождения. В принципе, играю примерно 1,5 часа, наверное, около того. Наверное, около 2. И я думаю, что совсем немного осталось. Вот чтобы не получилось, как в предыдущей истории убийства, что у меня 2 нормальных стрима и 1 18 минут. Я думаю, разделить это убийство на 2. В общем, чтобы удобнее было и вам, и мне. До скорой встречи. Пока-пока.